Chairman, thank you. Mr. Ruffle, it's good to see you again. In this process, you've jumped right into the frying pan. There's a lot of things that need to be done, obviously, at IRS. I'm grateful that you're engaging in this, but we're obviously lacking a lot of details, as you have mentioned, on some of the plan, and you have said that some detail is coming on this. One of the things that and I appreciate the detail is coming, but we're tracking that. One of the issues that you raised where we're not going to do audits, increased audits, for those individuals and businesses with $40,000 or less, as per the Janet Yellen's statement from Treasury. It's difficult for me to be able to track what historic levels may mean, because if I look back on it, and we have gone back to be able to look at what are the historic levels of what audits were done of $40,000 or less. Some years it was very low, and some years it was particularly high statistically on this. We don't know if that's a number, if that's a percentage, and if it's a percentage or a number, which year that is. Is it going to be a group of years? Because if you say this is the historic level, and then you look back 10 years ago or versus 5 years ago versus 15 years ago, that's a very different number. So help us with understanding what the word historic level means.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Senator. Just to clarify it, the pledge is $400,000 a year. What I believe and the message I want to provide to you and to the American people is that we are, for the next number of years, going to be so focused on increasing capacity for high wealth taxpayers, individuals, corporations, and partnerships and complex partnerships that there will be no change to the most recent audit rate we have, the most complete final audit rate we have for years. And then even once we feel like we've done the necessary capacity building in the high wealth area, then it will take years to even get close to what might be a historical average versus where we are today. So when I say where we are today, I want to make clear that we don't have a final audit rate for 21, 22, 20, because it's still possible that there could be audits issued. Right. So we will take the most recent final audit rate, and it's historically low, so it addresses some of your concerns that you raised in your question. And we will allow that to be the marker for at least several years, and then we'll revisit it.
So historic levels means the 21, 22 audit rate.
It goes earlier than that. It's more in the 2018, 2019 range, because it's actually 2018 is now closed, and that's a final audit rate. Right. Where in the other years there's still the potential that that the audit rate could change.
Yeah, I don't mean to pick on this, but this is an issue that we debated actually on the floor during the IRA debate, and Republicans actually brought an amendment saying it can't include that $400,000. It can't include that. Democrats actually voted that amendment down and blocked it. And so this is why this is such a question now, is that I know everyone's saying it won't be that $400,000, but there's nothing in statute that does that, and defining a historical norm and what that is seems to be a moving target on it. So that's helpful for us to get a clarification. It's the 2018 number is what it's going to be.
Yes.
Okay, that's helpful to be able to get, and we'll follow up on it. There's a lot of questions about the individual master file and some of the updating there and the technology you and I have talked about before. The issue of technology, the IRS. I've been in the Senate 8 years. Every single year I hear the IRS has legacy hardware and software. Okay, and that's every single year on it to be able to go from here. I know you're saying with the additional funding you're going to be able to update all those software and hardware systems. Thank you for that. The issue on the individual master file, where that stands in the process, because a lot of things are built on that.
Yeah, well, I think one of the priorities that we put in our plan is the desire to fully update the individual master file by 2028. I think the reason we need to modernize it is a couple of different reasons. One, we want to make sure, and we think the American people deserve to have the most up-to-date technology that's housing that data so that it is as secure as possible. And then obviously with a more technologically sophisticated platform, we can automate more, we can do more, we can meet emerging requirements more quickly. Look, the technology is not all old. You said there's been investments. The issue is we haven't crossed the finish line. And my goal is to make sure that we are not just, updating this part and that part and not bringing together the full suite of solutions so that that final solution is modernized, and then it'll be less expensive to operate and easier to update in the future. It is a central priority for us going forward.
Look forward to that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank